Hi everyone, the video for Google Meet Tips and Tricks webinar will not be shown due to privacy concerns. We will, however, show you all the tips and tricks we provided in that webinar. We shared 3 different extensions that can be found in the Chrome Web Store that will make your Google Hangout a little similar to that other tool that everyone likes to use. The first is the Grid extension. When you've enabled that, if you click on Grid View, you will see some of the settings. The first setting will only show the participants with video. That means if students just have their icon like I do here, they would not show in your grid. Everyone who chooses to have video will be shown in the grid. The Highlight Speakers option puts a green box around the person that's speaking. This way, if there are multiple people in your session, the green box will show up around the person who is speaking. It will move back and forth between people in the session. You can also choose to include yourself in the grid and also enable Grid View by default. Another extension that was shared was Nod Reactions. This will show on the left side of your Google Meet. You can see here that a student can raise their hand and you'll get notified down here. In addition, if someone gives a reaction, that will also show on the bottom left-hand side. This extension has already been pushed out to students in LUSD. You simply need to add it to your account so you can enable it in your classroom. Some of the settings in Nod include skin color and turning on notifications. If you turn on notifications, this will enable you to see notifications when you are sharing on your screen. So if you are sharing, say, a Google slide or a website, you can then turn on notifications and you will still get these notifications on that side when you're sharing. They also have the feature request, so you can request different features for this tool, as well as report any issues you may come across. The third extension that we shared was the Google Meet Classroom extension. This enables you to have a whiteboard. The whiteboard will show down here. So when you click on it, you will see the whiteboard is available for your students. Be sure you're sharing your screen so your students can see this. You can write anything you want. And those teachers who brought home their touchscreen Chromebooks, this will be a lot easier if you use your finger than your mouse. You can change the color. Additionally, you can make the line smaller as well as larger. So this is a great way if you want to teach using a whiteboard, you can use the whiteboard feature. If you need to erase, simply click the eraser. You can also delete the entire board. This icon here is for a text box, so you can add text. When you save it, it saves to the upper left-hand corner. Clicking the X will return you to your Google Meet. To enable the whiteboard so your students can see it, click Present Now, click a window, click the Meet. Once it says you are presenting your screen, turn on your whiteboard and your students will see the screen. Click Stop Presenting to stop presenting. Other tips and tricks for Google Meet are to turn on captions. Turning this on will enable the ability for students to read what you speak. This is great for your English language learners as well as any students that may be deaf or hard of hearing. Be sure you enunciate so that your text is correct. You also have the option to record your meet. Simply click on the 3 dots and click Record Meeting. Anything that is recorded from when you turn it on to when you turn it off will be saved to your Google Drive. We'll be covering what you can do with this in a future webinar. If you want to see your students while you're sharing your screen, you could also consider using a secondary device. If you log into a secondary device, say for example you're presenting from your Chromebook, and then you have a secondary device at home, you could open it there as well so you could see your students. Just be sure you mute yourself on one of the other devices. Alternately, you could also use 2 windows on your screen and enter the Meet on both of them, but be sure to mute on one of them. That way you can have one screen where you see your presentation and another screen where you will see your students. Join us next week for some other great webinars from your digital coaches.